Assalamu alaikum and welcome back from the break. You're joining myself, Adama, and Ayan, and Liz, and we had our guest earlier from Atlanta, Sister Ustadha Ali, who joined us earlier from the US in our discussion on tawakal. That was a really interesting discussion, mashallah, and what I took away from it is what the point that you said about how sometimes you have a pill, when you have a pill and you're trying to swallow it, it's like, this thing has got to go down, I need this pill. And mashallah, and that's definitely what our tests are like, and trying to have that patience and tawakkul on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It is a hard thing to get your head around, and it is a hard thing to kind of cope with and deal with. But, you know, I think once we get that, once we kind of can get on board with this idea, then, you know, we will find contentment, and we will find, you know, relief, and we will find peace.
Definitely. I think trying to relinquish the control we think we have, and just let things go on the way that they're supposed to, because there's no point getting stressed about something that's not in your hands. You know, just trust in Allah that, you know, He knows what's best for you and that it's going to happen in the best manner.
Absolutely. And what the Ustadha said about starting off our day, really thanking Allah, knowing that He's going to get us through the day, that's such a great reminder.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly going to take that on board, inshallah.
Me too, inshallah.
So, barakallah feek. Well, with Mother's Day just around the corner, we review what you have to say on this subject and understand why this event is so important within modern society today.
I don't think so. I think I talk to my mom every week, and I already have a sense of who she is and what she means to me already.
I don't think so. I think Mother's Day should be every day. So I don't really celebrate it much.
Of course. It helps us to appreciate our mother, to remember our mother, and to care for our mothers.
Of course. And I love my mother, so of course.
Mother's Day is just, I think it's more commercial, trying to sell cards to me and then make me do it. But I think it's important to have a day marked out for our mothers. I think it is.
Kind of, yeah.
Not that much, I think.
Yeah, I think Mother's Day is a lot of business and things like that.
Mom, I love you and thank you for all the support.
I love you, Mommy.
I love you so much, and I'm happy to have you in my life.
I love you, Mom.
That is such... Those messages were really sweet, mashallah, to round up the discussion. So what did you think about what they said?
Oh, I think it was so lovely, those messages at the end. It's so cute.
Definitely.
But I think I agree with this thing of Mother's Day. It's another kind of commercial day to, you know, go and buy more expensive flowers than you'd usually buy them, or cards or things like that. And I think actually making it more of a constant, I think one of the people said, you know, it shouldn't be just one day of the year, it should be more of a constant thing. Definitely. That, you know, you remember your mum, because mums are awesome, they do so much for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it was quite interesting that 3 out of 4 of them did celebrate Mother's Day and did have, you know, an affiliation to it, and then we had a sister who said she doesn't necessarily celebrate it much, but, you know, she could obviously understand that, you know, it's important to obviously appreciate our mothers.
You know, in defence of those who do sort of celebrate Mother's Day, I think it's kind of a product of the society that we live in. We're just so busy, and our life is just so, you know, me-centric that you tend to forget others, and it's not really intentional a lot of the time. You know, it's just that things really are busy, and that's just the way that life is nowadays, modern life, that it's really, it takes a lot of effort to try and be consistent and remember, you know, things that you should do for others and with others. So maybe in a way Mother's Day is nice because it's telling people, hey, don't forget your mum.
Within the context of the society that we live in,
so it's, I think it's good and bad points.
Definitely. Well, one of the good and bad point, well, it's not so much good and bad points, but one of the sort of main aspects of the discussion is the commercialisation of Mother's Day. And I think, you know, the public did agree that it is quite overly commercialised. I mean, we've got all sorts of bunnies out and flowers and chocolates for half price in, you know, whatever supermarket. So what do you think about that? Do you think it's overly commercialised?
You see, this is what I object to. It's like it's putting a kind of monetary value on your love or your relationship for somebody, you know, like you can buy them this bunch of flowers for £5, but if you really love your mum, then you'll push the boat out and buy them this bunch for £20. And, you know, I just think that, you know, it shouldn't be about that. You know, it should be about, you know, the tokens that we give. And it doesn't have to be anything, you know, like a phone call, Mum, I was thinking about you, or, you know, just like the unexpected bunch of flowers, you know, some other day that maybe isn't Mother's Day, you know, shock horror.
Yeah, there is that kind of, to some degree, there is that disproportion, because when you think about what mothers do for you, I mean, it's a 24-hour job. There's no holidays, there's no off sick days. It's it's a full-time job and it's a very difficult job.
Get your mum a bunch of flowers every Sunday. How about that? Yeah.
No, but you don't necessarily need to get them anything, because at the end of the day, you know, mothers don't really want anything from us except for, you know, a relationship, that affection that, you know, they've always given to us. So that's what they want in return. So even just going out for a coffee together and saying, you know, Mum, what's going on with you? You know, how are you feeling? You know, and, you know, doing little things like that counts for a lot, because mothers know how busy we can get, and mothers know the sort of struggles that we may be facing. So it's nice for them to think, oh, we've taken this time out because we want to spend that time with them and we want to know how they're doing. So I think
it's so true. And Ayan, did you find that your relationship with your mum changed when you became a mother?
Yes and no. I think I understood a lot more of what my mum used to say to me, and I understand her struggle a lot more after becoming a mum. But I think we've always had a really good relationship, alhamdulillah. So
that's really nice, mashallah. I felt that my relationship with my mum completely changed. I can remember phoning my mum after I had my daughter, and I was like, Mum, I love you.
I hope with my relationship with my mum, she's actually turned 55 today as well. It's her birthday. I hope that my relationship only grows stronger with her, because, you know, she literally is my best friend, and I feel like giving my best friend flowers like once in a blue moon. But obviously, you know, there's always a context to these things. But alhamdulillah, Islam teaches us to appreciate our mothers and to do this on a grand scale. It's like a sort of 3-for-1 thing. You know, with our mothers, they got the gold, the silver, and the bronze medal, and the fathers get a complimentary. But mashallah,
just for being there.
And Jannah lies at the feet of our mothers as well.
So true,
so subhanallah, they're really special. And you know, mashallah, it's great to know that, you know, we've got really good relationships with our mothers. Inshallah, we all need to aim to do that as well. Well, jazakumullah khairan for that. We come to the end of the show, but join us next Monday where our sisters will discuss asceticism, otherwise known as zuhd. But before we go, here's a reminder on the competition we've been holding for you this week.
This week on Women's AM, we are holding an exciting competition for you sisters out there. Up for grabs is an Islamic eye prayer, an electronic salah prayer learning device incorporated within a prayer mat. Since this is such a special device, this week we are asking our viewers to write in and tell us why you should win this in 50 words. Who would use it? Do you have a friend who recently accepted Islam who you'd like to give it to? Or a member of your family has started to pray? Or you want to gift it to someone special? Send in your answers to womensam@islamchannel.tv along with your name and address and what you most like about Women's AM. The deadline for entries is Friday 28th of March 2014 at 4 p.m. All applicants need to be over 18 and residing in the UK. Please note only one entry per person per household. A winner will be selected with the most inspirational answer, and the winner's name will be announced on Monday's show. So get entering.
Mashallah, that's a really exciting prize. I'd love to have that one, mashallah. So do get entering for that. Jazakumullah khairan for tuning in this morning. We do pray that Allah continues to guide you on the right path and place your trust solely in Him and keep on smiling. From me and the sisters here, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.